Hey, this is Mark, and welcome to Mark's Movies. Today we're going to tackle Noah, the latest big biblical epic. This one has caused a good bit of controversy, but pretty much any biblical epic these days is going to cause a little bit of controversy no matter where you stand. It was interesting when I told people I was going to review this. They're like, why would you want to do that? Or actually, I had a variety of reactions. Some people would be like, why would you want to go see a biblical epic? And the other people that were more Christian oriented were like, either, oh, that's going to be great, or it looks like blasphemy to me. And, I don't know that holds water, no pun intended, when it comes to something like a movie. I mean, obviously, filmmakers are going to take as much liberty with this source material as they do with any other source material. You adapt a book, certain things are going to have to change in the transition from book to movie. So this is no different. I mean, if you think about it, the passage in the Bible is just like, it's a really brief section of the Bible. So of course it's going to be expanded. But I thought like what the director did was very clever in that he incorporated other elements from the Bible that are in there, but not necessarily in Noah's particular story. For instance, there's stuff involving a kind of a miracle birth, and obviously we know what that reminds us of. And there was another scene where Noah it's implied that he might need to kill said birth because it's miracle birth, and that's shades of Abraham and Isaac. So, he's getting stuff that's in the Bible and incorporating it where it not necessarily is in the Bible, but it makes sense within the context of the story, and it fleshes it out in a way that makes it more dramatic and interesting, I thought. Either you buy this or you don't. Whether you're a believer or a non-believer, it doesn't matter. It's a movie. Either the movie's entertaining or it's not entertaining, and I thought it was super entertaining. It's a compelling story. God gets upset with humanity and decides to wipe it out, except for one chosen guy and his family and the animals, and he's supposed to get a representation of each animal, male and female, put it on this ark and sail away while everybody else is left to die in this massive storm. It's a pretty, awe-inspiring story. Whether you believe it or not, doesn't matter. It's really exciting to watch. That storm is pretty impressive. It's easily the most kind of impressive and realistic looking depiction of the whole Noah's Ark story that I've ever seen. I mean, you're in there in the storm. If anything, like, this was like one of the rare occasions where I was like, this could have easily been in 3D. I'm kind of surprised it's not. But I guess maybe they thought it would kind of make it a little gimmicky and take away from the source material, no matter how you felt about it. So, maybe it was a good choice. But whatever the case, it's plenty exciting enough in regular 2D, and, great cast. Russell Crowe's Noah. He didn't try to make him likable. I mean, Noah in the Bible isn't a particularly likable dude. He does turn his back on everybody else and saves his own skin and his family and leaves everybody else to die. That's not a particularly likable action. That's kind of the definition of an anti-hero, if anything. So, he's not supposed to be likable, and Russell Crowe doesn't make him that way. So it works totally, and you definitely buy him as this stoic guy that's determined to do everything by the rules and follow God's orders and not diverge from that at all. His wife is Jennifer Connelly. Her role's a little underwritten, but then, you don't get much about her in the Bible anyway, as you get a little more of the sons in the Bible, but the way it's done in the movie is a little different. I think in the original story, it's Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives. In the movie, it's Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and only one of them has a wife. The others do not. So that's kind of different. Plus there's a stowaway. It's a king that's trying to save his own skin, so he sneaks on the boat. That's definitely not in the Bible. But it does make for some, fun action later, or not fun, but some action later on when he confronts Noah and there's a big showdown and stuff. And he also tries to get one of Noah's sons to turn against him. So, you've got a lot of, biblical type stories within the story that we all know. And I think it really works. Emma Watson is particularly good from the Harry Potter movies. Hermione, she plays the lone wife of the son who has the kind of immaculate conception thing happening. and she's really good, especially when Noah starts threatening to end the pregnancy. That's some pretty intense material to deal with, and she does a great job for someone who obviously has never been pregnant and knows nothing about it. She's very convincing, and I thought it was like probably her best role outside of Harry Potter to date, by far. The director's Darren Aronofsky. If you know him at all, he does not shy away from the controversial. He's the one behind Requiem for a Dream. He's the one who did Pi. He did The Fountain, The Wrestler, and most kind of famously Black Swan, which won some Oscars for Natalie Portman, among others. So he's a provocative filmmaker. It's provocative material. It suits him well. Some people were maybe a little surprised that he tackled biblical material, but for him it works, and it fits right in with all his other, stories of, most of his movies revolve around a person fighting against extreme odds to achieve something, and this fits right in with that. So I thought, if anything, he's like the perfect person to do this kind of story. And it's definitely a step up from The Fountain. I would rank it among his best, but not quite as good as Black Swan or Requiem for a Dream. So kind of firmly in the middle of his output so far. So if this interests you at all, you're going to love it. Even if you don't think it would interest you and you like the director or the cast, I still think you'll like it. It's not really about, preaching at you. It's just telling the story. So you can put that aside if it bothers you, or embrace it if it doesn't. It can go either way. It's a great movie in that way, and that it appeals to both. So check it out, Noah.